Lucia, help, help. SOS, SOS, Mayday, Mayday. The St. Lucia, a luxury liner, sailing the Caribbean Sea, with a good old captain named Sir John Compton. For years, sailed smooth and free. But sadly, Sir John Compton passed away. His team lost election that day, and the mantle passed over to Penny and Team Labour. Me blood crawl, things start to fall. Hold me head when I say that ball. If you hear it, Captain, the ship is sinking. Captain, Captain, seas are rough. We gas tank almost empty, no electricity. We oil pressure reading low. Shall we abandon ship, or shall we stay on it and perish slow? We don't know. We don't know. Captain, you tell me what to do. We don't know. We don't know. Beauty with feet years that few surpassed, and in her day she sailed majestically. There were few in her class. Faithfully she fulfilled her sailor's needs, but labor was overpowered by greed, and so they pilfered slow, causing scandal and row. Now things look dull, she's at a loss. She could barely sit on a hull, half we balling. Captain, Captain, the ship is sinking. Captain, the seas are rough. We gas tank almost empty, no electricity. We oil pressure reading low. Shall we abandon ship, or shall we sit on it and perish slow? We don't know. We don't know. Captain, you tell me what to do. I said no. I said no. Captain, you tell me what to do. In her day of sailing, she was a friend, a true friend to one and all. And in her day, she sailed majestically. No government doing bubble. And yes, well, she always did her best to help out those in distress. Now she don't have money, we have to beg Joffrey. Labor boys don't share, none of them care. We must vote them out, I declare. Captain, the ship is sinking. Captain, Captain, the seas are rough. We gas tank almost empty, no electricity. We oil pressure reading low. Shall we abandon ship, or shall we sit on it and perish slow? We don't know. We don't know. Captain, you tell me what to do. We don't know. We don't know. You tell me what to do. lot of fingers pointing. Suffering going on too long. Kenny must be blamed for all her failures. Labor must be blamed for doing us wrong. Now please remember, I'm warning you, we can't take 5 more years with this crew to hold the keys to her vault, cause we know who's at Caesar. This is an SOS from the St. Lucia. Help! Help! SOS! SOS! Mayday! Mayday! The St. Lucia, a luxury liner, sailing the Caribbean Sea, with a good old captain named Sir John Compton. For years, sailed smooth and free. But sadly, Sir John Compton passed away. His team lost election that day, and the mantle passed over to Penny and Team Labour. Me blood crawl, things start to fall. Hold me head when I say that ball. If you hear him, Captain, the ship is sinking. Captain, seas are rough. We gas tank almost empty, no electricity. We oil pressure reading low. Shall we abandon ship, or shall we stay on it and perish slow? We don't know. We don't know. Captain, you tell me what to do. We don't know. We don't know. Beauty with feet years that few surpassed, and in her day she sailed majestically. There were few in her class. Faithfully she fulfilled her sailor's needs, but labor was overpowered by greed, and so they pilfered slow, causing scandal and roro. Now things look dull, she's at a loss. She could barely sit on a hull, half we balling. Captain, the ship is sinking. Captain, the seas are rough. We gas tank almost empty, no electricity. We oil pressure reading low. Shall we abandon ship, or shall we sit on it and perish slow? We don't know. We don't know. Captain, you tell me what to do. I said no. Captain, you tell me what to do.
Well, a special good night to all our viewers here locked in on Caribbean American News Media. Welcome, my people. How was your day? Here's hoping that you had a beautiful day, a beautiful evening, that all is well. You are home with your family. We here at Caribbean American News, we're excited to be here with you on the platform. Greetings, my people. Yes, howdy, how is things going, man? Big up on yourself. Yes, welcome to the platform. We were off on yesterday, on Monday. I had some issues that I had to medical issues that I had to attend to, but we are here tonight. Yes, our bodies are a little weak tonight, but we are here to be with you, our people, on Caribbean American News Media. We are committed to the task. We are committed to the work. And I say to you, let not your heart be troubled. We are in this for the long haul. We are in this to stay. We are on the winning side. And I say to you, we are conservative. We are not left. We are not right. We are conservative. We are right there, dead in the center. All right. And that's where we need our Christian brethren to be. Those who understand the cause, those who understand what righteousness is all about. This is the platform for you. This is the place for you. We welcome all to Caribbean American News Media. Again, welcome to our platform, and we are broadcasting live to you from an undisclosed location. Undisclosed, you will see us switching in and out of cameras. Well, we are setting up our system for live interviews with our president, with the our chairman of the United Workers' Party, and we hope, folks, that you can stay with us. You can share the live. Well, not tonight. He's not going to be here tonight, but he's going to be here with us, and we look forward to beautiful discussions. We look forward to that interview with our chairman, Mr. Prudent, right here on Caribbean American News Network. We are going to get back to work, friends. We're going to get back to work. Now, there's a lot going on in the news. I do not want to waste any time. By the way, our phone lines, they are open. We are going to be accepting calls very early in the game. So to those of you over on our YouTube channel, we greet you. Those of you who are watching through different mediums, greetings to you. I met my friend on Sunday, Boss Lady. I met a lot of other beautiful people. But, you know, I finally got to meet Boss Lady. I got my hugs and everything else, and Boss Lady is a nice lady, man. Big up yourself. And again, to all our Flabo brethren who came out in New York to that meeting in Brooklyn, well attended. Everything went well. We want to thank you, I'm sure, on behalf of the leader of that Flabo caucus there in New York, and also Mr. TP and the rest of the United Workers' Party officials in New York. We want to say big up to you guys. I enjoyed the meeting. I sat there, and by the way, we had the most amazing floats. You know what the floats are? Those little bakes, round, nice bakes. The lady who did it, Valerie, beautifully done, mama. Listen to me, I had to do a procedure and I should not have had anything in my stomach, and listen to me, I had that bake and it was the most heavenly bake that I have ever experienced in my life. I am telling you, not because I'm a food lover, but and not because I was hungry, you know, but that thing was the best. All right. So, Flambo, you keep doing what you're doing, and let us remain focused. There are a lot of noise out there, and we will deal with the noise. We are not going to run away from noise. We're not going to be running away from bullying. By the way, we have a major problem with bullying, and I am going to address NBC television network there in St. Lucia, and I'm going to ask the regulatory committees and organizations both in St. Lucia and the Eastern Caribbean to step in and protect the people of St. Lucia. That is your responsibility. I'm going to say it again. To the telecommunication regulatory committee, which Mr. Stevenson King is the boss of. He is in charge. It's under his ministry. I am asking him to control the radio stations and the television stations on the island of St. Lucia. One, we should not be peddling attacks or threats on the airwaves. it becomes a terrorist organization when we allow these things to happen. The license, it is a control, it's just like a driver's license. It comes with responsibility. And for the life of me, we have citizens, whether they deserve it or not, being threatened. And everybody stays quiet because people are afraid of all the bluffs and the bullying stuff that goes out there. We are in an environment of crime. We are losing our people. And there is no need for us to be sitting here and being hoodwinked and henpecked and bamboozled by one television station. And it's becoming annoying. It is getting out of hand. Somebody will get hurt, and I'm adding my voice to the call for this to cease. Stop. There is no need for threats. There is no need to threaten anyone with death or anything else. There is no need to remind anyone that you know their address and you know where they live, even females. I heard a voice note of a United Workers' Party supporter from Soufriere who worked with the foundation, being harassed, being threatened of, I know where you live. I know where you live in New York. What does that mean? What is the meaning of that? What this woman address have to do with you, MBC, I am addressing? What does that have to do with you? And I say to you, bullies, the longest rope has an end. And I don't care how big and powerful you believe you are and who you know and who you have on your side, it is wrong. And I do not put water in my mouth for the nonsense and the childishness and the pettiness that I'm seeing on the airwaves that are controlled. But what we have is Sky FM not being able to broadcast, but we have persons being able to broadcast, but yet they are doing a very sloppy job at it. And it is time again for that to cease in our culture, in our society. And I said it, we cannot encourage people to be saying to you that I am ghetto and this one is ghetto. Listen to me, St. Lucia is not a ghetto. The majority of St. Lucians are not in no ghetto. And I'm not bringing down people who live in bad conditions or young people who grew up in certain environment. But I am saying we got to liberate our people from that mentality. It is destroying each other. And we are sick and we are tired of this bullying with a legal license. In other words, the government of St. Lucia, let's put it this way, the government of St. Lucia, they are encouraging bullying. Because if the government is responsible for the issuing of license for broadcasting, and nobody is monitoring what is happening, the content of these programs, where people are bordering on committing crime, they are bordering on threatening the freedom of expression in the country. And what the freedom of expression does not allow us to do is to besmirch, to kill, and to threaten anyone in this country. Period. Now, I said what I said. And I'll tell you, the only one that I fear is the man Christ Jesus. No one else. He says to fear him who can destroy both the body and soul. And I've seen a lot of bullies who have come to their end. I have seen a lot of people who believe that they are strong and they are mighty. Look at Hitler. Look at all these fellas, Saddam Hussein, who believe that they were bullies and they can do what they want. Where are they? At some point, you get tired, you get weak, you get feeble, you get sick. And we all are subject to decay. So I am asking the government of St. Lucia to step in, please. Ask those people to stop. MBC is the problem. The problem is not Yadi. The problem is not Shelton Daniel. No, the problem is NBC, the management. There is an owner. There is an owner of the station. Now, I'm going to pause on that. And I am serious about what I'm saying to you. I'm serious like a bull. It got to stop. All right? So we're going to move on with our program. Enough. Enough. Everyone has a right for freedom of expression. Enough. If you can't give, if you can't take, don't give. Do not give, because I've seen a whole set of people being bullied. Yes. I have seen a whole set of people being bullied. Now just bear with me. There's a music playing in the background in my ear, and it's distracted me. So let me see if I can find it. I am not sure where it's coming from, but I'm going to find it. All right, just bear with me, my people. Okay. All right, so just let me just get that music out of my ear, because I have a whole set of stuff here. Okay, I found it. Good. So let's get to work. Where should I start? Whole set of stuff happening in our society. Let's go over to this rape thing, this sexual abuse by this older man, sexually assaulting, sexually molesting a young child. The child is squeezing her hands, and this pervert, this infidel, kisses the girl and messes with her breasts and push his mouth into a private part. What human being does this to a little child? Huh? What human does this? Big old man. Undressing a child. And folks, those of you who have not greeted tonight, I do apologize. It's just a lot of stuff bombarding you at the same time. You miss news for one day and there's a whole set of stuff in the news. I just turned my back for one day and the whole world has gone crazy. The whole world has gone crazy. He's whining on the little child. I hope this guy is not walking on the streets of St. Lucia. I hope he is he's locked up. Because this guy should not be in our society. He should not be outside. This is ridiculous. And what you have, instead of organizations and government putting things in place to protect our children, they are busy talking about Mr. Shasney in the house. All day today in the house. Shasney. The man is not even in the house. The whole debate today is about Shasney. The whole debate about Chasney. And what do we have going on in our society? Old man, big hardback man. Messing with a little child. And brethren, we got to protect this child. My friend sent, my associate sent it to me so I can see it, so that I can speak about it. But brethren, let's not share this around the place. The child face is there. Let's protect this innocent child. And you can see the child, she's scared. You can see it's something that this man have been doing to this child over and over again. It's clear. It's clear. She walks because she know maybe she was threatened or whatever it is. She walks there and she decide, look, I'm going to tape this because maybe she's saying something to somebody as usual, but nobody is believing. Just like any other cases that you have in your country where your child says to you or some person says to you, I'm being abused. You say, oh no, not him. Johnny will not do that. Don't lie on Johnny. And you go as far as beating those kids. How many of you have gone through this when you were younger? You keep telling your mother, telling your father, telling your neighbor that you're being abused sexually. And nothing. Poor child, brethren, I am so outraged that I got to drink water to keep my mind together. Because if I can only get my hands on this pervert, because I have a young daughter. You have daughters. You have sisters out there. And this might not be the only case in St. Lucia. There might be many more out there. Many more. Instead of tightening laws, we tighten laws for Chasney. Instead of having an entire debate on sexual abuse of our women and our children, I've been speaking about it on this platform over and over again. And I keep crying out that our women are being sexually abused in St. Lucia. I keep saying it, that our women are being abused, our children are being abused, but nobody is listening. I am saying to them, I am hearing, I am seeing, I'm getting a lot of communications. But no, we are busy on Chasney. Now I got to take it easy tonight. I'm not 100%. I try to control myself. But if you say to me, you listen to the house sitting and you believe that all is well in St. Lucia, that everything, nothing to see here. Now we have a custom officer shot. Custom officer shot in his car. While they are talking about Mr. Chasney in the house, and they are bringing up things from the past, and they are talking about Facebook. I heard the Prime Minister talking about what people are doing on Facebook. You were hired to take care of St. Lucia. What do you care about Facebook? What, you don't want people to speak? People have their democratic right to speak. What, you don't want them to speak? Your guys, Trisha, Lionel, and all those fellas were on the air non-stop beating down Facebook, and you did not complain. They beat Facebook while the United Workers' Party was in power. Night and day, they took turns. They tag team like we see in the house. And they beat during COVID. I heard the Prime Minister tonight said that their governments, their opposition supported Mr. Chasney during COVID. No, you did not. That's a lie. And it's from the pits of hell. Because based on what you guys were saying, you said that the country was the worst prepared. While Sean Edwards said that he have never seen such organization and it was the best in the Caribbean. Your guy said it, but you were so busy not supporting Mr. Chasney and his administration during COVID. Now you're in the house saying that you guys supported, like people. And you have the hacks. And by the way, he called United Workers' Party supporters hacks. A prime minister in the house. Campaigning, that's what it was. He's good on campaigning. He's not good on leading. I'm going to say it again. The man is good on campaigning, but he's not good on leading a nation with food insecurity, high food prices, high utility prices. And now he puts a 2.5% except on pads. Have you ever heard how much is a pad? Anybody can afford a pad. Big men in the house talking about pad and pad and pad. Maybe some of you need to pad up. But what we saw in the house today was same old, nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Now, before I go over to the Prime Minister, Mr. kkrr, our expert on criminology, our expert in forensic, our expert in crime numbers around the world, our correspondents on crime. We will listen to him. We will listen to him. Yes, we have a crime expert. And we listen, folks. Let's go to our crime expert.
I'm going to tell you the difference between Chasney and Philip J. Pierre. So, Alan Chasney got in power in what year? 2016, right? So I took a whole chart of the amount of killings that happened in St. Lucia from the time Chasney, I have it from 2009, but I just leave that behind. But when Chasney came in office in 2016, okay, there were only 16 murders, 16 murders per 1,000 St. Lucians, okay? Only 16 people per murder. So if there was 200,000, there was...
So hold now, that is our expert. Only 16 per whatever it was. But this is our expert on crime in St. Lucia. All right? Our SLP expert on criminology in the St. Lucia. Now let's listen.
An average, okay? 32, 33 murders when Chasney came in 2016. Who's up come on Chasney Trey? Chasney went up to...
Hold a minute. Let's hear how much people Chasney killed. Now, Mr. Pear has nothing to say about this. Nothing to say about it. So we have something to say on this platform. Let's continue with Mr. kkrr, our crime expertise, our crime expert in criminology, crime. Go ahead, sir, we're listening.
Which is almost double. Chasney Trey 30 mon. Alan Chasney killed...
Hold a minute. We're having some issues there. What he says, Alan Chasney killed... Let me take you back there again.
2016. Okay? There were only 16 murders. 16 murders per 1,000 St. Lucians. Okay? Only 16 people per murder. So if there was 200
per murder, 16 per murder.
There was only about 32 murders on average. Okay, 33.
Ma have co-exports sa hen papier, mais mama 16 people per
Welcome to Caribbean American News.
Reverend Massa Edizer, expert Nukila. Let's go over to our expert. Expert, finish quick.
2016. Usa come mun Shasne Chwe? Shasne went up to 28.9%, which is almost double. Shasne Chwe Fatimon. Alan Shasne killed.
Good. So I just cut it short because Zohasav. So Alan Shasne killed people in St. Lucia. Word matters. Words matters. And when you're talking about kill and lives, you must be very careful. And it seems to me that the SLP, they are out of control and they do not know how to control themselves. So they say anything. For instance, I know where she lives. I know where Charles lives, so I will go to his house. I know where Marvin is. I can go to his house. I know where he is. I can leave the network and I will come and deal with you. What is that? What does that mean? Tell me. But listen to this. Just a moment.
Few moments later. A few moments later. A few.
Good. So just bear this out. Few moments later.
That's a word for you. I'll be voting you in the Labour Party. No confidence.
Oh, Philip J.
Philip J.
Okay, bear with us. That's another soul there. That's another soul there doing something. All right? So just bear with me, folks, because we're going to reload the page. We're going to reload it. Because I don't know what happened there. I had something. Bear with me. The system is just playing around. Or that might be an ad. But let's go back. Stay there with us, folks. We have some work to do. Yep. Wait till I. Don't go. Okay. So I will have to reload. Stay with me. All right? Stay with me. I'm going to reload that. Let me reload. Y'all see. I'm going to reload. Please share the live as you join. By the way, welcome, folks, to the platform. Welcome to the platform. Okay, I just found the thing here. And that's what happens when you... Tonight, just a one-man... I'm a one-man crew, so bear with me, all right? Wait till we have work to do tonight. Because I'm sick and tired of these jagabats in our society. Think that they can say what they want and everybody else need to shut up. Listen. Wait.
Fail with the amount of crime in St. Lucia? Who is in the right mind? What is a failing mark? 10,000 people dying? It's not irrational, pes. Zot took the bomb on Philip J. Pierre. And I like him, but you cannot be biased. It is a fact that the crime is too high in St. Lucia, and it's been the highest on the Philip J. Pierre. Now, do you like him? That's not the issue. Is he the one causing the crime? That's not the issue. The issue is the crime is there. You see it morning, noon, and night. Look, somebody said, no murder where they are in New Jersey. You know, you got to be fair. You got to be fair. It doesn't matter if it's Chasney or Philip J. Pierre. And that is why St. Lucia is in that mess it is. People are bad. There's a lot of bad people in St. Lucia. I'm telling you, I've experienced in it on a daily basis. You can see how you deal with them, how they react with you. Even though I'm good and I feel I failed. He failed. He failed. Is anyone going to tell me Philip J. Pierre did not fail with the amount of crime in St. Lucia? Who is in their right mind? What is a failing mark?
So Mr. kkrr said, who is in their right mind? So let's assume tonight that Mr. kkrr is not in his right mind. We will confirm that for him, that, sir, you are not in your right mind, and we are going to introduce the flush button on you tonight. Now, let's go over to Mr. Shelton Daniel. Tonight we are on a roll. All right? And make sure when you all carry the message, carry it good. And let them know that I mean every word that I'm saying here tonight. I'm not playing. I'm not playing. So Mr. Shelton Daniel is complaining about something. We're going to listen to him complain, and then we will come back. All right? Let's listen to the complaint.
If Hyper Isaac is what you can drag in for Alan Chasney to be part of the heavy hitters and the hitters out there and so on, the embarrassment of a guy who's always getting into scripts and fights with police and security and all this kind of thing, of a guy who getting drunk on TV openly and so on and looking so ridiculous. If that is all you able to recruit for Alan Chasney and to bring in for him, oh my goodness, if that's what the cat can drag in for its owner, for its handler, ooh, I mean, that owner, not handler himself, is a problem.
So when people say things about Mr. Daniel, he gets very upset and out of order. But here he is belittling a St. Lucian, belittling him because he believed that he supports Mr. Chasney. Belittling him. And this is what we have in our society. This is what we have in the society. And we got to speak up against it. We got to speak up, friends, against it. Let's go over to our Prime Minister. Let's go over to our Prime Minister and hear what's going on there with him too.
Posture on television and radio pretending, like I heard one of them talking about crime, and the Minister of Home Affairs and National Security should resign, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there are all kinds of crimes that have been committed in this country that go unresolved, including kidnapping. Posture.
Okay, so the Prime Minister basically is accusing someone, and most of us would agree that we are very much aware what he's talking about. So he is accusing someone of kidnapping. That's the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. Now, a letter was sent to him concerning the police officers, the female officers, who were complaining that they allegedly experienced some sort of, sexual advancement in the workplace. But he says to you that as the Prime Minister, I can't do nothing about it. What am I going to do? Investigate who? Nothing? Nobody? Who am I going to investigate? But here he's talking about a situation that, nobody was arrested, as far as I know, in that situation. But let's listen to him again.
Posture on television and radio pretending, like I heard one of them talking about crime, and the Minister of Home Affairs and National Security should resign, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there are all kinds of crimes that have been committed in this country that go unresolved, including kidnapping.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Mr. Pear, if you are aware of kidnapping crimes that have not been dealt with by the law, you are the Prime Minister. I am asking you, Mr. Prime Minister, to deal with it. You brought it up in the House. You said that people on Facebook are talking about crime. In other words, we should shut our mouths. The SLP is in power. Shut your mouth and let you do what you want, when you want, how you want. Just shut up, because there are a lot of crimes in the past that have been committed, including what he says, kidnapping. And he said nobody did anything about it. So I am saying, who is responsible to do something about kidnapping? It is not the police. So here again, in a slick way, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia throws the policemen under the bus by saying to them there's so much crime, or there's a lot of crime that took place in the past. And you basically, who is responsible for crime? The Prime Minister? Who is responsible for crime? The police. So what are you saying, Mr. Pear, about the police? Play it again, because they will say that you're lying, you're not good, you're a fake Christian, you're a pastor, and all the nonsense that they do. Attack the messenger. So I am asking for clarity tonight. Who are you speaking to, Mr. Prime Minister? As the Prime Minister, you stand in the people's house. While you're standing there, one of your police officers got shot in his vehicle. Shot in Moshi. And you are in the house. Basically, you're saying, you guys on social media, or you St. Lucians, just shut up. There was so much crime happening, including kidnapping. Shut up. What are you saying? What are you talking about? And while you're doing that, Mr. Pear, a police officer, was shot. And we hope and pray that the good God will have mercy on that officer and allow him to live and to be with his family. But you, sir, you're in the house talking about crimes of the past. Kidnapping. If you know about the kidnapping, sir, come forward. Talk to the police, because you might be a witness. If you know about kidnapping, come forward and talk to the police. But don't go in the house and be throwing words, jabbing at everything, trying to bamboozle the several of the people of St. Lucia and tell them, no, we have the best government, we are doing good, all of us are doing well, Chasney is the one not doing good, and the United Workers' Party's people should be on another island because St. Lucia is ours, the SLP. You can't even go on the national, the government website and have a conversation or view the program. You cannot, as a United Workers' Party supporter, go under the house sitting. You cannot like, you cannot comment, because the SLP are in charge and you will be bullied. Mr. Pear, what are you saying? Talk to us.
On television and radio, pretending like I heard one of them talking about crime, and the Minister of Home Affairs and National Security should resign, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there are all kinds of crimes that have been committed in this country that go unresolved, including kidnapping. Posture on television and radio, pretending like I heard.
And I would remind the Honorable Prime Minister that one of your ministers went into a church, committed a crime, violated the church, and nothing was done. You, Mr. Prime Minister, and your cabals and jabals, you guys covered him. Do you remember that, Mr. Pear? Do you remember that? I'm just reminding you. I've never really come at you as a Prime Minister. I've given you all the respect. I've given you every respect as the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. And I still respect the office. But Mr. Prime Minister, you are crossing some lines lately that you as a Prime Minister should not be crossing. You should not. You want to talk about crime? Let's talk about crime, Mr. Prime Minister. Huh? You want to talk about crime? Look at COVID. Look at the amount of people that lose their life because of your recklessness as a party. You want to talk about crime? Look at the high food crisis in this country. You want to talk about crime? Do you want to talk about crime? Do you really want to talk about crime? All these allegations all over the place. You want to talk about crime? Ministers have their wife and having other people pregnant. You want to talk about crime? And of course it's a crime. You want to talk about crime, sir? Your guy went into the Seventh-day Adventist Church, disrupted the service, and went scot-free. You want to talk about crime, sir? Let's talk about crime.
I'm talking about crime, and the Minister of Home Affairs and National Security should resign, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there are all kinds of crimes that have been committed in this country that go unresolved, including kidnapping. Posture on television and radio.
Don't forget that you have people in your cabinet who went in the police face and was bullying them. Don't forget that they went under the piton, trespassed on people's property. All your cabals trespass on people's private property, lose their way through a police officer that was there, pull down the fence. You want to talk about crime, sir? Up to now, Sky FM applied for a license to broadcast. Huh? And up to this day, not a word, not a word, not a word. You want to talk about crime? That's a crime. It's a crime against the state. It's a crime against the people of St. Lucia. You want to talk about crime? There are families who can't sleep at night because they're not sure how they're going to eat. They're women with all sorts of cancer in their bodies, and they're raising barbecues. They're doing barbecues to raise funds. You want to talk about crime? Huh? You want to talk about crime? And I'm upset tonight. I'll tell you what crime is. If you want to talk about crime, it's criminal what your spokesmen, your people are doing, threatening the lives of people. You want to talk about crime? You want to talk about crime, sir? And it is almost, I don't understand. You guys operate with impunity. Nobody can speak on social media against your party. We just got to embrace you, shut our mouths, because you are God Almighty. You and your group of men and women, you guys are the best thing after Armour's bread and cheese. You guys are the best thing after Buster that have ever come to St. Lucia. You guys are the best thing in St. Lucia. And when you're in opposition, the United Workers' Party, they are the worst. And all St. Lucia need to march in the streets whether there is COVID or not. You want to talk about crime? You go to St. Jude's. It's criminal to invest all that money in a hospital that you are catching your tail to put together. You want to talk about crime? Go to the post office. Sorry, go to the supermarket. You will see the crime right before your eyes. Go to Massey or any one of those supermarket chains and come back and let's talk about crime. Go to the hospital and try to get health care. People are sent home because there is no bed. People need urgent operation. Can't get it because of no beds. And you still want to build some little hospital with less beds? You want to talk about crime? You want to talk about crime? Crime against humanity? Crime against our fellow St. Lucian? And somebody just remind me, you go to the passport office. I heard the lady come saying how nice everything is. Do you know the amount of noise we had to keep? Do you know the amount of pressure that we as spokespersons, as advocates, social advocates, had to make in order for y'all to do something quickly? And now you're boasting, oh, I am happy about what is happening at the passport office. Do you know there's still people waiting after 2-3 months for their passport? Crime against humanity, sir. Let's talk. Our girls being raped by adults. And don't think that government ministers and leaders are immune. They are all saint in the matter. Our young girls in these communities, because of their situation in the society, whether they need some money or whatever it is, they're being sexually played with. Talk about crime against women. Because they have children and they got to feed them, and the father is not there, or the father is dead because of some gang violence, then she got to depend on your ministers, of course, who comes like bedroom bullies in the communities to sleep with them. And sit in the house like holy, 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 like they're all angels. Angels of mine. And you want us to come and sing here, baby, when I met you, there were peace on earth? There were no peace on earth when we met you. Because in opposition, you were terrible. You were in the skin of the government. Every turn they made, it was a leaked document. Every turn there was a problem. So you want us to come and sing, baby, when I met you, there were peace on earth? Let's go over, folks, to another clip. Now, let me say, the phone lines are open, folks. You can feel free to call. You want to call? The lines are open. If the lines are not, if folks are not calling, I shut the show down because I'm tired. I'm tired of this nonsense in our society. And my problem is that people cannot speak. When you speak up, you're being called names. You're being threatened. When you speak up, there's a problem. You're either victimized or they even call you names as a Christian. You're no Christian. Why? Because you don't support. You don't fall in line. So you're not a Christian. And you go through all this nonsense. Nobody cannot speak. Because they're afraid that they're going to be victimized, bullied, or somebody will show up at their house. I said to you, you might show up at the wrong house. I can guarantee you that. Show up at the wrong house. But when you have people walking around saying that, they rejoice when people get killed because people speak. So if you speak and they don't like what you're saying, they can kill you, they can beat you, they will come at you. And that is being said boldly while ministers support the statement. And we cannot speak in our society because our society is being held hostage by you and your bullies. And if there's any bully on the United Workers' Party side, cut it out. That's not needed in our society. Cut it out. Let people speak. Allow people to talk. Let people talk. People have a right to speak. Expression. Freedom of expression. And you have government ministers calling the program and cheering on. Yes, I listen to you all the time, Jean. I listen to you all the time, and you're a good man. I listen to both of you and celebrate. God does not slumber nor sleep. Calling you on the air. Caribbean American News Network. Can you hear me? All right. Somebody's trying to call. Let's take that
There is
call.
not enough money on your account.
Okay, that person called me on the caller. You can call me back, or you can use WhatsApp. Call now. But let's listen to the Prime Minister in the House.
I want to thank my colleagues for their contribution, Mr. Speaker, and I am happy of the responses from the people of St. Lucia, Mr. Speaker, particularly the women of this country who are extremely delighted, Mr. Speaker. And it is these small things.
So wait, so you women are happy about getting what? Duty-free or tax-free on pads? You can eat pads? Huh? Is that what you women are happy about? Is this man listening to you, St. Lucians? Call you on the air, Caribbean American News Media. Call you on the air.
Good night, Pastor Garfield.
Good night. Welcome to Caribbean American News Media. Don't listen to your device.
Good night. Sorry about that. I'm trying to lower my volume. Okay. Pastor Garfield, you played that clip with kkrr. Did you ever watch the clip with Rudy Giuliani, when he was trying to defend Trump and his hair dye color was running down his face looking like a madman?
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Play that clip back of some kkrr and you will see they look similar. Can you imagine St. Lucians settling for less? We're settling for VAT reduction on pads, $2.99 pads, $3.99 pads. We really cannot afford nothing in this country that our young girls cannot even afford pads. So we have to get tax reduction on pads. That's really sick. You know, our government have just taken us for doormats. You know, they're just wiping their feet on us.
Well,
that's what it is.
And
Solutions need to wake up, and there is no more time for. I don't think there is any more time for talking. I just see people talking and hearing people talking. Right now, the time we have left is for us to take the streets, get to the streets, get in front of that police station, get in front of that headquarters. We need to take the streets in abundance.
But Colin, you have a group of people who will say to you everything is good, nothing to see here. People are getting free pads, free plywood, no doors, free galvanized.
Who's getting free pads? Who's getting free pads?
Well, when I say free
Who's
pads,
getting free pads?
I mean you don't pay taxes on pads, on maxi pads.
Where are they getting the free pads? Where?
Well, I don't know if it's New York City.
That's donations. That's donations persons are making. Which government is giving free pads? When a minister person give 12 bags every 6 months, does that help his constituents?
And some of them, the younger ones, is
does
free.
That help people in St. Lucia with pads? The only thing we need in St. Lucia is pads.
Some of the other younger ministers, and maybe the elderly ones too, is condoms they're distributing in the communities. You can see me going. It's a formula.
Yeah, condom is acceptable, to safe sex and, to prevent diseases and stuff like that. I would understand that. But I'm asking the question, where are they giving the free pads? Who is giving the free pads?
Well, I don't. Where? It's not free pads. It's on.
Have pads.
It's on the no.
If a child today do not have sanitary napkins, or she doesn't have sanitary napkins, where can she just walk from her house and go to and get it? From Sunday to Sunday, where can she go? Are they going to have it at the health centers so a young person can just walk in there and say privately to the nurse, I do not have sanitary napkins, can I get a packet? Or how do we handle that? Is it that they're going to have to go to the store and buy it and you're going to get a 50 cent or 25 cents deducted on it?
Well, you might
What
not
is
pay.
really
You're
going
not
on
going to
with
pay
this tax
taxes.
situation that everybody think it's okay?
But do you see? Did you see do you see the food prices? The cost of food in St. Lucia?
I am not in St. Lucia, but I definitely know the cost of food prices in St. Lucia. I
A box
definitely know
of
the
chicken
cost
back.
of food prices.
A box of chicken back, I believe, is what, $90-something.
Let me tell you something. In Canada, in the 2000s, in Canada, in 2000, chicken back was selling for $1.50 a box. $1.50 a box. When St. Lucians came up to Canada, started coming to Canada because it was free visa, the airlines, which they were buying chicken back so much, the Chinese raised it to $5 on them. And even today, you're telling me chicken backs is so expensive in St. Lucia, but even the regular person cannot buy chicken backs.
So
Even
wait,
the
caller.
regular family cannot buy chicken backs. And when a family has 6 children, or even that they have 4 children, and maybe that 2 of their children already have children in their house, can they really feed them? So you're telling me chicken backs alone solutions have to eat. So you're telling me that we have to eat chicken backs. That is what they designed for us. That is what that looks like us. So we cannot eat a piece of salmon. We cannot eat a piece of rib steak. That is not for us. That's for the elites. That's for the bigger ones to eat. We cannot eat some basmati rice. Well, you know what? Since when the last elections, I left St. Lucia, and I'm going to return when that bell calls.
Yeah.
Not my tax money, not me. I cannot take on that. I sit down and watch St. Lucians made that decision. I cannot believe it up to today that a rightful person, a person that thinks right, a person that sees what is going on with crime in this country, healthcare. Look at the state of a stadium. Last time my husband came to St. Lucia, he had an eye problem. You know, when I went to the stadium, it was after 11 in the night.
Wow.
You know what happened? There was no electronic machine for the cards because he had no cash. There was no, and even the US we had in hand, they wasn't accepting the US there. So you know what? They denied my husband's service there because there was no machine at 11 o'clock. They asked us to go to a private doctor. The only private doctor we got was a man in Tiroche or Diga, somewhere in that area there.
Wow.
Close in Diga. We got some private doctor right there. I think it's an African or whatever who saw us. And we had to bring the money to the doctor the next day because he did not even have a machine and he wasn't taking the US either. You see how slow St. Lucia is? No health care. Nothing. You cannot get a Band-Aid. They're talking about what? Ultrasound? Ultrasound. Where are the machines? Imagine the health center in Mikud. The people in Mikud not talking. The health center in Mikud, why is the health center they built, Gail just built there and the UW, the labor went and made grand opening. There was an AC unit that's not working. There's no doctors coming to the Mikud Health Center.
That's not true.
Because the AC
That's
unit
true, caller?
is not operational.
Are you serious?
So because the AC unit is not operational, there is no service.
I got to investigate that. If that is true.
I'm telling you, there is no service at the investigate. There is no service. There is no doctor coming at the Mikud Health Center these days because the AC unit is not working, and it has not been working for a while. There is nothing going on. I tell you, praise God, the storm came and moved Wawet and upload them with Wawet on the East Coast. It's a good thing. There is nothing going on in the country. Nothing. Look how many young teenagers getting pregnant, leaving school. There is no system in place to see to that. If we do not have kids, if we have kids that are not attending school, we have the authorities or we have a group of persons who document that and find out or call in the parents and find out why are these kids not in school. Nobody does that. You think the ministers not knowing who not in school in the constituents? They're passing the kids every day. They're passing them every day. Every minister knows what is going on in his constituents. And they fail and they fail and they fail. And St. Lucians are sitting down. They're sitting down on their butts and looking to see which neighbor is going to the other neighbor's house and which other one is going that way and which other one is going that way. But you know what happened? The bread and butter issues, of this country, we are not focused on that. We are focused on everything else. We're making politicians take us as doormats, and it's time for this shit to stop. Thank you, Brother Garfield, and have yourself a good night.
Appreciate you, caller. Thank you so much. Wow, that was an interesting call. There is no air condition at that new center there that was built by the United Workers Party in Miku. We got to look into that. And I would agree that if there is no AC, then doctors would not want to attend to the patients over there. So somebody got to confirm that. And if that is true, it means that our government can only open things or dedicate things, but they cannot really have it functioning. And that will be a tremendous concern. But let's go back to the house. If you listen to these fellas in the house, everything is well. All families are happy. Monies are circulating. There is jobs for everybody. All is well. To me, these guys are out of touch with St. Lucia because they're saying, well, people are happy. People is just the hacks. Basically, the hacks, the flabber hacks, you know. My caller, you're on the air. Welcome to Caribbean American News Network. We are firing on all cylinders. Welcome.
Good evening, Brother Garfield. Thank you for being back tonight.
No problem.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening to all listeners as well.
Yep.
And I hope everyone's doing good. Okay, Brother Garfield, I am appalled and I am ashamed to call myself a St. Lucian today. To listen to the Prime Minister of St. Lucia stand in our House of Parliament and justify the crime rate by calling someone out on hearsay of some kidnapping or whatever it is because the person spoke against crime and called for the security minister to resign. This is the comeback that we get from the Prime Minister, who is the security minister in St. Lucia, rather than take responsibility for what is going on in this island, where people are literally being killed almost every week. I should say every week. Let me remove almost. Every week, a series of gun violence has happened in St. Lucia over the last 2 years. And this is the comeback from the Prime Minister, who's the security minister.
Caller, you know what I believe St. Lucian should do? I think somebody need to start a movement. Get a whole set of pads, put ketchup in it, and just put it in front of the house. Period. Go ahead, caller.
Actually, that's a good idea. To be quite honest, just and remove the sticky bit and just stick it all over the place like you crazy, over the house,
all over.
They would arrest me if I had to do it. I may have to disguise myself.
No, just dress in red, because once you're in red, you're safe. Once you dress in red with a red cap with a star, then you are good to go.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I am appalled to see that this is what the Prime Minister of St. Lucia is using as a comeback for the state of our country today, yesterday, and for the last 2 years. We have never seen mayhem and murders happen in St. Lucia the way it's happening.
Yeah.
Under the Philip J. Pierre administration. He has failed St. Lucia and he continues to fail St. Lucia. Now, my thing is, Philip J. Pierre should not just resign as the security minister. He should resign as the Prime Minister of St. Lucia.
Well, he said you all are calling for him to resign, and you all had people who kidnap and who murders that are unsolved, so you all shouldn't be talking. That's what he said today.
Well, may I remind him that they may just be, like Kenny Anthony said. Let me quote Kenny Anthony. There are murderers and criminals and drug dealers, etc., sitting in his cabinet right now, according to Kenny Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
So I am stating according to Kenny Anthony. So he should take off the wax from his eyes first before he tries to take it out from somebody else's eyes.
Yeah, that would be well.
And that's a message that I have to send to PJP. You must resign, not just as the security minister of St. Lucia, but as the prime minister. And let me list a few more reasons why. Lying Pip, excuse my language tonight. Lying Pip, because you say you irate. Brother Garfield, I am past irate. There is not a word to describe how I feel right now in St. Lucia. Okay? Lying Pip came out and said that 2.5 will not be applied to grocery items and medicine. Am I correct in saying that, Brother Garfield?
Yes, he said that.
Right. Do you know, and I'm going to name the store. Nobody can sue me. They don't know who I am. I'm an anonymous caller.
I'm the only one that know who you are, but go ahead.
Massey, no, you don't know who I am. Tonight you do not know me.
Okay, good.
Massey Stores has already, over the last 2 to 3 weeks, been putting on that 2.5 on their goods in their store.
Wow.
Including food items.
Wait, could you repeat? Could you repeat that again? Could you repeat that for our listeners again, caller?
I said, Massey, this is not hearsay. I am not gossiping here. I do not have time for it.
Yeah.
This is factual, coming from an inside person at Massey Stores. Over the last 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, Massey Stores has been adding on that 2.5 onto all their goods in their store. So when we go there next time, we will see the changes already being done. A box of chicken backs at Massey Stores is $83 or $84. $84.
$84.
A box of chicken backs and glass is between $55 and I think $55 to $60.
Wait. This song like something is wrong. Something is wrong in St. Lucia, caller. Because if one supermarket, Marcy, is charging $84 for chicken back, and another supermarket is charging $55, then the problem is not supply chain.
No, the problem is the store that has so many supermarkets in St. Lucia taking advantage of St. Lucians, and Philip J. Pierre, Lying Pip, aka Lying Pip, because now I'm starting to call him Lying Pip. Lying Pip will allow this to happen because he collects more VAT. He collects more VAT on these items. So everything that is high priced, he's collecting more VAT on it. You cannot run a country of 180,000 people on tax, Mr. Philip J. Pierre, when over half of our population is unemployed. You cannot do it. It is not going to work. You are going to send St. Lucia, you're going to turn St. Lucia to a Haiti, and we already a failed state under your watch, Lying Pip. It is time for us to get rid of Lying Pip. It starts to rot at the head. And it's rotten in St. Lucia right now. A box of pads with 48 pads in there. 52 pads, sorry. Is $90 at Massey Stores. Something like pads.
I mean, pad
And
is
it's
the pad.
always brand.
Pads are the cheapest thing in the world.
It is not the cheapest. It is one of the most expensive items in St. Lucia. Okay?
Yeah.
You will look at us women, insult us by one, not looking into the alleged rape cases. You have letters sitting on your desk about the high profile policeman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the highest order policeman in St. Lucia.
Mm-hmm.
You will not look into those rape cases, alleged rape cases, but you will come and tell us you're removing VAT on pads only. What about our shampoos that are sky high in price? Our toilet paper, which is going to grow in price because if it's 2.5, it's already expensive. All household cleaning items and household items. Why didn't you remove that on all sanitary products?
Let me put up something, right? Caller, hold a minute, huh? This is removal of VAT. This is from the government of St. Lucia, effective August 2nd, 2003 to August 1st, 2025. And that is the removal of VAT on lumber, cement, galvanized, not all roofing supplies, but galvanized, steel, plywood, solar, PV systems. I'm sure that's for hot water. Sanitary towels, pads, and tampons, napkins, etc. Now, we don't want no list with etc. You got to give us a full list of what it's all about. Caller, go ahead.
That's right. What is etc.? What is etc.? And you see, that is the problem we have with this SLP government. Nothing is stated factually.
Mm-mm.
Everything is half-assed and everything. You know, anytime you see someone comes up with an excuse rather than deal with a problem, that person does not have leadership qualities.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to deal with a problem, you acknowledge that there is a problem in this country. High food prices, unwarranted high food prices, because other places in the Caribbean, it's a lot cheaper. St. Lucia is the most expensive island in the Caribbean right now. Okay? Unwarranted high food prices. You stealing monies from us at the gas pump because gas on the world, oil on the world market is $71.02 per barrel. And you're charging us now, I think, $16.50 or 16 something, almost $17. And we can round it off to $17 because you can't buy anything with 25 cents or 50 cents.
Yeah.
You're still charging us that amount of money at the pump for fuel, when fuel in St. Vincent gas in St. Vincent is $12 a gallon. Lying, thieving pip. The country has the roads in this country. They have so many potholes, you don't even know where to drive. But you will fix Pigeon Point Road, a road to nowhere because of jazz. And you will fix a roundabout halfway, block part of it and just fix a little piece of it. And that's the roads that you've done in St. Lucia. Lying pip. So now that school is closed, right? Mm-hmm. And he's implementing his 2.5. It's for September year. Mm-hmm. Books are going to be more expensive. Remember when Shasti was trying to give people ebooks?
Right.
Ebooks. So we would not have to pay $1,500 in school books for a high school student. Oh, they knocked it on the head because St. Lucians cannot get a break, you know. Now, books are going to be increased by, and it's not just 2.5, you know.
Mm-hmm.
People are seeing it as 2.5% on top of the price right now. Everywhere it stops and it lays its head for a moment, there is 2.5 implemented there. So at the end of the day, In taxes, we will be paying in excess or at least 20% or 21%.
Wow, 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 wow.
Everywhere it stops before it gets to the retailer, there will be a 2.5 on there. Lucians, St. Lucians, we are too quiet. And when we speak out, the few of us who speaking out, they want to come and say that things should happen to us and they should do this and do that, and people like us and threaten us. Let us not be threatened by those useless and aimless voices out there that are trying to silence us.
Yeah.
Let us keep putting the pressure. But talking will not save the day. We need to go down in thousands to the House of Parliament in Castries and shake this building with our feet.
Yeah.
This is not a joke. Okay, we've had a march for our leader some time ago. That was a march for our leader. We need to march for our rights.
Yeah.
We need to stand up to Lying Pip and his red cabal. Excuse my language tonight. We need to stand up to these people by showing them how many of us can stand up outside the House of Parliament. Police or not, we have to stand up for a better living in St. Lucia.
But caller, while you say that, right? Something came to my mind that people said in the House. He said, "Look, my government have added more items for the removal of VAT," not realizing that what was added was sanitary napkins. Which government minister sat there and added sanitary pads and tampons and napkins when the hospital and the clinics, there is no napkins there. There is no napkins at the hospital. The nurses can't get one paper towel to wipe their hands. But here the government is removing VAT. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with removing VAT. They should remove VAT on a lot of things. But I mean, where people need to have a break is with food. Remove VAT. Let me ask you a question, caller. Is there VAT on meat in St. Lucia?
Of course there's VAT on meat in St. Lucia.
Is there VAT on sugar and flour?
No, these are not fatted items.
Oil?
Sugar, flour, and rice, depending on the rice, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Not basmati, not jasmine, not these rice. But sugar, flour, and the plain rice that is bagged, weighed, and bagged. There is no VAT on these items.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Because I was at Marcy and I was at Marcy and you know, it was sad. It was sad. You see people picking up three items in the supermarket.
3 items. That's just a couple items. How much rice can one eat? How much plain rice does one eat?
Well, the man
How much sugar? And
look, I placed a note.
These are
caller. I
these
did
are controlled goods.
Yeah, I did a note while the minister was speaking, right? And he said that the opposition try to tell people don't eat bananas and cassava because they're trying to spite people. I have never heard such childish, petty things in my life.
That is a bull. That's why I call him Lying Pip. Lying Pip is just telling lies, and he has told lies from whilst he was campaigning and for the last 2 years of governance. The man has lied at every juncture. The man has lied about everything that is happening in St. Lucia. Now, St. Lucians, I want you to pay very close attention. So, a particular minister in a red car, that almost bounced him. The women will understand what I'm saying. A particular minister in a red car that almost bounced him came out making his claims, right? Right? Just after the 2.5%, and I'm saying this again, the 2.5% was announced. That particular MP is used as the mechanism. He is the tool being used to throw us off the issues that we need to pay attention to. Let me explain.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as the 2.5 came out, this minister was almost bounced by a red car. That was not effective enough that the yard fowl that he has speaking on his behalf made threatening statements to people on national radio, right? And he came out in his show and reconfirmed. When I say reconfirmed, just like he say we rebuilding, or we what was he said? Rebuilding? Rebeginning, right. So let's use his language.
Yeah.
Let's use his language.
Talk to me.
So he came out and he reconfirmed. He played this clip 3 times over and over. Spoke of a man that was chopped in bits and pieces wherever down in the South.
Oh boy, that was...
Reconfirmed what his friend was saying. To throw us off even more from the 2.5 that we should be paying attention to, so that we can refocus on his noise and not say anything about the 2.5% tax, additional tax, that will work out to a good 7.5% at the end of it all because of how it's calculated. Through us throwing solutions of that, because the Roro is juicier than the issues that we are supposed to focus on. Let us not lose sight of what this government is really doing to solutions. Let us stop giving that particular MP any kind of attention whatsoever. In his next quest for attention, let us ignore him and say absolutely nothing about what he spoke of. And let us see him come up with more. Let us let him drown himself and say nothing and stick to what is affecting the issues affecting St. Lucia.
Well, we are expecting an investigation into that matter by the police. Well, like everything else, we will wait. We would not accuse the police like Mr. Pear did in talking about a situation with kidnapping. Like I said, if you know of something, some crime on kidnapping, Mr. Prime Minister, you need to come forward and tell the police. Don't accuse them of just letting it go. And by the way, let me ask you, caller, as you hear, something the Prime Minister said that have me troubled. Now, the women of the police force, some of them accused an individual in the force of, sexual advancement or whatever it was. A letter was written, sent to Mr. Pear. Now, Mr. Pear is saying that he's not going to look in, there will be no investigation basically in that matter, because who is he going to investigate? Space? There's nobody there is nothing to see here, basically. But then, on the same note, he said there was a certain woman who publicly accused officials of the United Workers' Party of sexual assault or whatever it was, and nothing was done. So if you listen to Mr. Pear, he makes a lot of all excuses why he should not do anything in the country. Because the United Workers' Party did not investigate an allegation, then he should not take on police women coming forward with claims of alleged molestation or whatever it is. If you listen to him carefully, we speak about crime, our men being killed in the streets. While the man is in the house, a custom officer got shot. And he's in the house saying that he will not do anything basically because the UWP didn't do nothing because there was kidnapping and the government did not, and the previous government basically did nothing. What kind of prime minister? Is this a toy house, a baby house? What is this?
let me tell you something. You see the tit for tat game that he thinks he's playing, and the alleged. Can I explain something?
Talk to me, Call.
The alleged sexual advancement or the alleged touching of somebody, touching the person. I don't know. Maybe I don't know where, on their arm, on their butt, wherever. The alleged touching of that person in an office. It was not that they raped her. It was not that they pushed her down on a table. It was not that they did stuff to her. Apparently, she came out and said she was an MP and the person was an MP. And she said the man made advances to her, like saying some funny things to her and touched her. But that's as far as it went. It was not a woman who came out and wrote a letter to the Prime Minister and said to the Prime Minister that there or the police commission writing or police whatever writing to the Prime Minister and saying that 6 women or 5 women or whoever have come and have written and said this person has done XYZ to them.
Right.
That was not the case at all. That was a case where a female MP at the time said that one of her colleagues made a pass at her at his office. Okay, I'm not excusing him.
Right.
I'm not excusing him. But he can talk all he wants. He can talk.
But why bring that
And
up?
yes,
Why bring that up to discuss a current issue
right.
in the police force? This guy is childish.
That MP did not try to rape the female MP. There was no alleged rape. There was no alleged sexual advances. But you got written to as a Prime Minister. As a Prime Minister. And you have done, and you're saying that you're doing absolutely nothing to look into these alleged reports of sexual misconduct in the police force. Lion Pip needs to resign. We do not need a Prime Minister who will not take responsibility for what is going wrong in this country. We elected a Prime Minister and a government, not me, they did. Elected them to ensure St. Lucia and St. Lucians are looked after, that we have the best life, that everything works for us in this country.
I realized today, caller, they said not a lot about crime in St. Lucia. Not a lot. Most of the time was spent on Alan Shastney. Alan Shastney is not there. Alan Shastney, everything. And the first time I saw them fellas went after Bradley today, because imagine Bradley supported the bill, but yet they want to challenge Bradley because Shastney is not there. And because Bradley is not falling to their call for him to join them to embarrass Mr. Shastney, then they're so enragé, they're so out of control that they're coming after the man. The man supported the bill. He said, I want to support it and stuff. And he gave some observation there on the bill. But then these guys spend majority of the day debating Mr. Shastney as usual. And I am telling you, one of these days, very soon, the bells of elections will ring. And the God which sits high, set up kings and take them down. I will guarantee you, and I'm asking you to watch this space, that these ministers will see Mr. Shastney at the reins of government in St. Lucia, and they will learn to keep their mouth shut. And by the way, we will not only take that off of pads, but we will completely give them free pads to cover their mouth. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
You know what? And you're so right about that. And whilst we are at it, we're going to put some red jam on it before we stick it on their mouth.
No flavor. Give it to them raw. They need no flavor. Let them put the glue on their mouth with it.
Brother Garfield, this Alan Chastney thing, again, is to distract from the issues, the very worrying issues, the real issues that St. Lucians are feeling, because we are feeling the pinch. It is to distract people, take people's attention away from what the reality on the ground is, and just feed them Alan Chastney, Alan Chastney, Alan Chastney. This is a government that is not ready to govern. This is a government that only puts money into fet, and more fet. Okay?
Yeah.
This is a government who does not take responsibility for anything that goes wrong in this country. Rather, they throw it on the opposition. The opposition, may I tell you, lying pip.
Yep.
The opposition is not the one governing St. Lucia.
That's
you
right.
and your government, you and your MPs are. You need to take responsibility. But you know what? Let him not take responsibility, because what he's doing is causing St. Lucians more harm. And the more St. Lucians feel pain, the labor pains that are given to them, is the more they're going to turn against this government that they themselves put to sit there. And to the 51% of people who did not go and vote in the last election, I hope you understand what you are responsible for in St. Lucia right now. I hope you understand that because you did not go and cast a vote, you have put us where we are today. And yes, I am blaming you, because we all must practice that franchise of going to cast our votes on the day of election. It is the one franchise that will keep our country moving in a direction that we needed to move.
We got to remind St. Lucians that Mr. Chastney is the only prime minister after John Compton who have come forward to lead St. Lucia with a bold vision, and that's what we must keep before the people. What we should not keep before the people is the roro, the childish petty things that we are seeing, fellas threatening to come at people's home and to do them this and to do them that. Let us keep before the people of St. Lucia the Viewfort Airport that is still in a mess, and up to now all planes can take off except the airport. The Prime Minister and his government cannot get the airport off on stream. Also, the hospital, they are still, say they're hiding information, coming and bluff that. That's why we want the money from your pocket. Imagine they're saying to St. Lucians, we need the monies in your pocket to finish the hospital. We need the monies in your pocket to have universal health. We need the monies from your pocket to do the airport. We need the monies from your pocket. You have the money we need in order to get our agenda forward. You did not tell the people that when you were campaigning. But let's go over quickly, callers. Stay there. Let's go over to the United Workers' Party put out a notice here. And it says just some of the goods that Philip J. is making more expensive with his 2.5 tax. This is from the United Workers' Party. It says car parts and vehicle tires. Listen to me, St. Lucian. And I trust the United Workers' Party on this information. All right? And if you give me a choice to trust anybody, I will trust the United Workers' Party on this. Car parts and vehicle tires. The roads are already bad. The people are already paying gas tax to fix the roads. But now you're taxing their parts, that the same road that you're not fixing, it's damaging. People are getting split tires, burst out rubbers and parts. And here you see you're putting a 2.5% tax on the very parts that you, government, are responsible for. All types of furnitures.
And solutions are not seeing that.
They're not seeing it. All types of
Solutions,
furniture.
you know.
Listen to me. Those who don't see it will feel it. That's all I can say. All types of furnitures. So when you build a house, remember you don't have the door yet and the windows. Those things are not VAT free. So you get the plywood, you get the roof. You don't have doors. When it's time for furnitures, 2.5 in your skin. You can't buy door, but you can buy furnitures. 2.5% in your skin. Putting you first.
Hang on a second.
Sorry. Putting you first. Caller, go ahead.
No. I need you to change that to always saying putting you worse. We need to get it in the minds of solutions.
Putting them first on the tax line.
This government is putting us worse and not first. So we need to take off that first and replace it with worse. And we need to keep saying putting you worse and not, and let's drop the word first. Because we needed to get it through the minds of solutions that all that is happening here in reality is this government is putting us worse. So here goes. The hospitals, right? Dale Elliott just had a program with a young lady who said that her baby died. Okay?
Yeah.
Her baby died. Now, I have a family member last week. Same thing happened to her. I saw this program last night, a clipping of this program last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, so is this a trend? So the baby was overdue for a couple of days and ate their own poo on the inside of their mums. So by the time they gave birth, this baby was under duress where they couldn't breathe, sepsis.
Oh.
Okay?
Wow.
So I have a family member who lost a baby last week. Okay? Last week at OKEU. And I'm watching Dale Elliott last night, and I'm seeing another lady reporting the exact same thing. So those women that Pip asked to go and get pregnant, okay, go get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Get yourself for the loss of your child at OKEU after you carried for 9 months, or the loss of your own life whilst you're trying to give birth. Get yourself for that. You better not get pregnant at all. My advice to you is to stay away from getting pregnant.
Well, the government have asked the people to have more children, and so they're giving them free ultrasound.
But they're losing them at birth. They're losing. Is it normal for people? Let me tell you, one is too many. I know of 2 cases, and I bet you I'm going to have more cases. I bet, because I'm looking into it.
But you realize that they're more interested in women affairs than dealing with the food prices. They're more interested in pads and making more babies, and those are the things you're hearing mostly now from them fellas.
These are all distractions.
Them fellas acting like they're midwives.
These are all distractions. The method of the SLP is to distract people off the issues that are really happening on the ground by using particular MPs to say certain things on their shows, by using their operatives to say certain things, to insult and bully and say things to people that to make to shut them up. And these are all distractions.
But caller, what I can tell you is that you see that St. Jude's hospital, the new hospital, if these guys don't get somebody on that thing to fix it urgently, the roof, the whole structure is going to be compromised because they have not sealed the roof. The roof should have been sealed a long time ago. The roof should have been sealed.
The only reason why they didn't seal the roof is to say Shasney said he was doing a world-class hospital, and now look what is coming through the roof. That's the only reason why they're not sealing it. They're trying, they will do anything to show that all the work that Chastney started was not good for St. Lucians. But I tell St. Lucians, we are now 15 years behind. In 2 years, we have been taken 15 years behind in development. In 2 years, St. Vincent is bypassing us in development right now. They have a better airport than us. They probably have better medical care in St. Vincent
airport,
than we
but
have
crappy
on
service
this
at the
island
airport.
right now.
They got better airport, but crappy service.
And you know what, Brother Garfield? At least they have a better airport. Not that I'm condoning crappy service. I hate crappy service.
And look, I just,
service.
sorry, Carl. Look, I see my chairman, my beloved chairman is there. And by the way, we had a beautiful meeting in Brooklyn on Sunday, well attended. Mr. Prudent, thank you so much. Mr. Prudent's supposed to be on set. Let's hope that we can get him this coming week on, we're going to have an interview with him. So you'll get more information about, where the party is going. But he's saying here, how can we buy plywood when you can't afford chicken backs? No money, no jobs. And you know what? Mr. Frederick was upset. Guess what, caller? Mr. Frederick was upset today that Timothy was talking about people must eat plywood soup now. So he's mad about that. They were saying people don't eat roads. People don't eat roads. Now we're saying people don't eat plywood. And we're right about it because things are really bad right now. But caller, before you go, let me just continue with the list here from the United Workers' Party. So cleaning product.
Yeah,
so we have all furniture.
Before you go on, hold on.
Uh-huh.
Please note that the SLP is taking that of plywood, but the blocks and the sand to build a structure is not included in the list for building a proper home.
But don't worry, they have a plan, man. You'll have to cut down coconut trees to make the foundation.
You're going to build a house with plywood and put cement over it, right? And that will withstand the hurricane.
No, man,
correct?
You cut some coconut. You cut some coconut branch stem and you make your foundation. Build your house on a coconut branch.
Okay, no blocks.
No, you don't need blocks. But in Denver, they use 4 blocks.
But they're giving people that free building materials. Shouldn't that include the sand and the blocks and the windows and the doors, etc.?
It should be the doors,
open
everything.
Your eyes to what is really going on. Because if anyone is to build a house right now, I don't think that person is going to go the plywood way. Plywood now is not as strong as the plywood in the past. Well, in 2 days, that is rotting.
Well, let them go and eat their plywood. Those who voted for their plywood, let them have plywood soup. And now they can throw in a few pads in it.
There's still a lot more to be said, but I'm just going to tell St. Lucians, the longer we wait to go outside the House of Parliament and keep our noise or silently stamp our feet, I should say. Okay. The longer we wait, the more detrimental it is.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah,
the more detrimental it is for us and our families living here in St. Lucia. I am ashamed to call myself a St. Lucian today. Now, I don't know if anybody else is trying to call.
Yeah, so
you can go through the list. If anybody calls, I can always hang up.
Okay, so here is the list, right? Let's continue with the list. So we have all types of furnitures, cleaning products, new and used vehicles. New and used vehicles. Clothing, shoes, and fabric.
Hold on. That is part of the list that's VAT exempt or VAT?
No. This is what the 2.5% tax is going on. Some of the items.
So hold on. On used vehicles, right?
Yeah.
There is already an environmental levy that has been put on this since the Kenny Anthony days.
I remember that.
And it's high.
It's high, right?
It is as much as buying the car or even more. Of buying a used car for 5,000 or let's say 3,000 US or 5,000 US.
So you put
the levy works out to be more than that.
Right. So you put a 2.5% on that.
And then you're putting 2.5% on top of that levy when you're already collecting a large sum of money on an environmental levy of when you're bringing a used car. St. Lucians, open your eyes.
Okay. Right. It's true. So now we have clothing, shoes, and fabric, and also appliances,
so we don't use
tools,
clothes and
and
we don't
machinery.
wear shoes.
Repeat. But the people feel it when they go to buy their shoes and stuff for the kids. Back to school, then you will hear the talk. Yeah, back to school, clothing, shoes, and fabric. Yeah. So,
You know what's going to happen, Brother Garfield? Let me give you a prediction of what's going to happen in St. Lucia.
talk to me.
Okay?
Carla. Talk to me.
Less cars are going to be bought, one. So that will stagnate the economy. Let me show you how SLP is going to bring St. Lucia to its knees. More, further, like completely to our knees. Okay? All parents are going to start ordering their shoes, the shoes for their children, socks, books if they can, ordering these things into the country because it will be cheaper bringing it in than buying it in St. Lucia. There'll be less cars sold because you're putting another 2.5. St. Lucia's bringing a lot of used cars. There will be less used cars sold because of that amount of money that they're putting when there's already an environmental levy. Groceries. People are going to start all bringing barrels of food in and not purchasing as much from the supermarket. And a lot of things are going to go externally done rather than internally. And you know what it's going to do to our economy? It is going to stagnate St. Lucia's economy. And I foresee Philip J. Pierre taking us to the IMF.
Well, we won't forget it.
Philip J. Pierre taking us, St. Lucia, to the IMF. I foresee St. Lucia becoming another parts of Jamaica, and I'm going to go as far as Haiti. But we can stop it if we do collectively what we are supposed to do. St. Lucians, the power is in the hands of the people. The government we put there does not have more power than us.
That's right.
They do not have power over us. We are the ones. The power is in the hands of the people. We are the ones who are their bosses. They are not our bosses. And that is the mentality that St. Lucians must change. They see an MP and they shake it in their pants. Bossman. No. You, the bossman partner. He works for you. She, the MP, work for you. You employed this person. We've got to start, as long as we change that mentality in St. Lucia, like the Bajans, and I will call the Barbadians tonight, because I will call them, I will talk about them, because the Barbadians know that the power belongs to them, not Mia Motley and her government. It belongs to them. They have the power. They can tell Mia what they want and what they don't want for Barbados.
Well, Dominica don't believe that, because look at what is happening in Dominica.
No, Dominica does not believe that, because Skerrit is a dictator.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
Skerrit is a dictator. And our lying pip down here, who's one of his best friends?
Yes, and Ralph Gonsalves in St.
Who
Vincent.
does Ernest Hilaire run to Dominica? Dominica. We'll have a better carnival than Dominica. We'll outdo Dominica in this. We'll outdo Dominica in that. Not carnival. Um, um, how you call it? The Creole Festival. You understand? Where do they run to Dominica?
Yes,
So they're taking a page from his book rather than take a page from Mia Motley's book. They're taking a page from Dominica's book. They're taking a page from Antigua's book. They're taking a page from Trinidad rather than take a page from the countries where people are living.
They need to take a page from Mr. Chasney. That's what they need to do.
And let me tell you, Mr. Chasney, don't give them any more pages. Don't. Because they're rejecting your pages. Hold your pages for when you are re-elected, sir, to come in and show St. Lucians what you can do for them. You had already started on that path. And I tell you, St. Lucians made a mistake, and they know it, and they're ashamed of it, and they can't even talk about it.
Yes. Okay,
they're so ashamed of it.
Yeah.
That they say that, all governments do the same thing. Let me let you go, Brother
Yeah, appreciate it.
I've had you here.
Appreciate it, man.
Okay.
We always appreciate your call. Thank you.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Yes,
Great contribution there from our regular caller. But I have a question to ask to the Dennery South office, Mr. Prosper's office in Dennery South. My question is there monies that are missing at your office in Dennery South? That is my question to the folks there in Dennery. Is there money that has gone missing in the Dennery South office? And we need to have an update on that. Let's do some as you folks are here. By the way, we have a massive turnout on YouTube. When I say massive, a massive turnout on YouTube, and we really appreciate that. And our Facebook has been holding steady, but YouTube we have had, a great turnout there with our seat. Let's go over to the United Workers' Party. Let's do some business here while we're at it. Okay, here is the United Workers' Party in partnership with the New York Flabo Caucus presents a Labor Day barbecue. Now, many of you would remember, was it last year? We had a massive event there in Queens, New York, where we were raising funds for Sky FM, and so this time they're going to be raising funds for the United Workers' Party, and so we're inviting all those of you who like to go on Eastern Parkway and you like to go all over the place. Find yourself, if you love your party enough, and I tell you, and I'll drop some of you under the bus, straight under the bus. Some of us have too much talk and no actions. A whole set of talk and no action. Here is an opportunity to support those of you in the diaspora, to support the United Workers' Party, to support them in bigger numbers than last year. Last year was big, but this time it is going to be much bigger. And therefore, we are encouraging you to support your party. Folks, if you love your party, some of you are not nice to your party. You don't support anything, not even the online programs. You don't do nothing. I'm not sure how many of you have membership of the party, but you got to get involved if you love your party enough. If you love Mr. Shastney enough, like you say. It is one thing to talk. It is one thing but you need finance, especially heading into an elections. You will need every cent that you can get to stand up, because money is power in elections. You need the finance to stand up against bullies and to stand up and to maintain your presence out there in the communities and with programs. You need to get involved, folks. This is no time for talking. It seems you like to eat plywood soup. I don't know for you, but I prefer chicken back soup over plywood soup. So get involved. Stay involved. But remember God first. God first. Put him first. And then get to work for your nation. So I find we have a lot of talk Anyway, let's go to the ad. Nou ka pale a shy man, a shy pale. Mama, pale. Wise me. So let's go ahead. So the date is on Sunday, September the 3rd at 2 p.m. And the location is Laurelton, Queens. I'm sure you will get information whether there's transportation, where the transportation is going to come from in Brooklyn. But, it's going to be a big event. You cannot afford to miss. Last year, a lot of you are shy these miss events. You're all there on YouTube and on Facebook following Exola Kaiser in Brooklyn. Leave the online viewers for those in the other countries, those in St. Lucia, in Canada, and in Texas, and in those other areas, England. Leave the live feed for them and come out. There's going to be a lot of important guests there. But remember, Matis Adam, say, the Saturday night, it was excitement in planning. I went over there, and it was all excitement to see all the people coming together. Sharon and TP, all the folks coming together, excited, and food and cooking and preparation, decoration. Folks, it's a whole set of fun. You will not regret it. You will not regret it. So it is September 3rd. Mark the date. Keep the date clear. This is for your party. There's a lot of work, like I said, to be done, and talking will not cut it. Those of us who are online, we are talking enough. Talking will not do it. It is time to stand up and support the United Workers' Party. Somebody say plywood porridge. Somebody said plywood porridge. Well, we had banana porridge. We had road porridge. Anything can work in St. Lucia now with PJP. All right. So, again, let's go back to the removal of VAT. It will be on lumber, cement, galvanized steel, plywood, solar PV system, sanitary towel, pads, and tampons, napkins, etc. All right. Let's go to your comments on the platform. Let's read your comments at this time, and then we will have a beautiful night, okay? Let's start from the bottom. Baked plywood and green figs. Well, good combination. You can add a pat of something on it. Okay, we have Mathrin, DJ Mathrin. He says, I hope when you win, Brother Garfield, you do much better for St. Lucia. When I win what? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Explain to me, when I win what? I don't play the lotto. And I am already doing good for St. Lucia because I'm here as a voice, sacrificing my time to ensure that you, the St. Lucians, benefit, because in the island, in any country democracy, you need a free press. And anytime you have your radio stations, your television stations are being censored, or they have joined ranks with the government of the day, then it places that democracy in jeopardy. Calling you on the air. Welcome to Caribbean American News Media.
Good evening, Brother Garfield. Good evening to all your viewers.
Hey, Ian, how are you? Greetings, sir.
I'm good, my friend. How are you?
Not bad at all, getting better.
You look very sharp in your suit tonight. I must commend you.
Oh, yesterday I was not like that. I was in a mess.
Don't worry. You sent out my well wishes, and I know many persons, your fans, did send out the well wishes, and thank God everything came out for the best.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
We're happy that you're back on air.
Thank you.
Because
happy
we have
to be
a lot
here.
of work to do.
Yes, happy to be here. Yeah. Yes, sir. What's on
Brother
your mind,
Garfield,
Ian?
What's on my mind is, are you aware that the doctors at the OKEU hospital are on strike? They put down their tools.
That's a story that I have no information on, to tell the truth. I've been out of it for a few days. Yes, so the doctors are on strike at the Millennium Heights Hospital?
Yes, they're on strike because what happened is that the government of the Labour Party is owing them sums of money in terms of their gratuity. So last week they down tools, they're on strike, and it's affecting a lot of people because there are people who have their clinic appointments and they're waiting for months for the appointment, and when finally the appointment came, they're being pushed back another few months. And these are persons who are on important clinic appointments. And that is just that's an indication of the state of affairs of our country.
Have the doctors addressed the St. Lucian public through media?
This is a very good question. In the scheme of things, where is the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association?
But during COVID, during Alan Shastay, the United Workers' Party reign, they were out very loudly.
Exactly, but the point, and that's a valid point that you're raising. You know, here it is that you have doctors on strike. They put down their tools. It's going to affect thousands of people. And not one word from the Medical and Dental Association to say, you know, in solidarity or give some statement so that the wider public, the general public can know what's happening. The doctors put down their tools. So that's one issue.
Yeah.
The next issue we have is the fact that, which is worrying to me,
Talk to me.
Why it is that the Labour Party operatives have to see the need to threaten people because they speak out. Why is that? I have never seen our country descend to the lowest common denominator. You have your right to speak. We live in a democracy.
Yeah.
I have my right to speak. Once I respect you and you respect me, once that we don't defame each other, once we speak the truth, the facts, we do not gossip, we do not spread propaganda or lie on people.
That's right.
We all live in a democracy. And it just angers me that Labour Party operatives can threaten people, can want to come to people's homes to do what they want, and they say publicly on national television and radio. And another question we should ask: where is Excel? Where is the telecommunications authority, regulatory authority, to sanction or to pull up these people, these so-called talk show hosts who go on media every morning, threaten people, libel people, defame people's character, and there's nothing been done about it.
But I'm looking for a group, Ian. I'm looking for a group of persons to support me in an open letter to that regulatory council, both the one in St. Lucia and the one in the Eastern Caribbean.
Today, another outstanding, uprising woman was attacked in the most vicious and vile way.
Yep.
Our sister in New York City, Eusebia Jobaptiste.
Yes.
For what? And the information I'm getting is that all what was said about the young lady was untrue.
Untruth, yeah.
Why do these things? Because people have exercising their democratic right to choose whichever political party that they so wish to choose.
But she's a strong woman, you know. She's a strong woman.
Know?
Yeah, she can deal.
When you go and attack Marvin Charles because he's speaking out against the ills of the country, and you're saying to the gentleman that you're going to come at his home and attack him, we have to be concerned about these kinds of developments, Brother Garfield.
Yeah.
Because today is Marvin Charles, tomorrow is me, tomorrow can be you, it can be somebody else who decide to stand
Well,
up.
I've had my shares. I've had my shares already. But what I can tell you, Ian, also is that we need all citizens to get involved, to stay active right now. And that's what I'm saying. We need a group of people to come together so we can all write to these regulatory councils and we can administer pressure on them to do something about the airwaves. Clean it up. They need to clean up the airwaves. Mr. Stevenson King, you need to clean up the airwaves. Well, you can't even clean up the Millennium Highway, so go ahead, Ian.
Stevenson King by himself is just dead weight, like Alan, our leader, esteemed leader, said he's just dead weight. I wouldn't expect anything from Stevenson King because you know, Brother Garfield, and many St. Lucians are aware that Stevenson King was the one who went after Sky FM, who took away their license for no reason.
Yeah, he told me he did not do it.
That is an issue that we all have to revive and resurface, because if you go after Sky FM for no reason, no apparent reason, Sky FM went to the proper channels, they applied for the license, they had everything in order, and because of political victimization and mischief, because they're challenging your government, the government of the day, that is the Labour Party,
Censorship,
you're not giving them a license to operate.
Yeah.
These are the things that we have to continue, Brother Garfield, to speak out against and speak out against loudly and forcefully. You know, sometimes I say to myself, Brother Garfield, and I'll say to your the listening audience, why I'm in this thing, why I'm fighting.
It's painful,
why I'm fighting for St. Lucia and St. Lucians when some St. Lucians back home do not see the need to get up and stand up and speak out.
Yeah.
Heritage that we ought to have a so-called 2.5% levy on the backs of St. Lucians.
Yeah.
St. Lucians in St. Lucia have not seen anything wrong with that. It's like business as usual. Most of them now, we're in the carnival season. They're preoccupied with carnival. They don't care. They don't care.
Well,
See
some
no
of them
evil,
living
no
on
evil.
granny's pension, so they don't care. Their mother's pension. Just a few of them who support the garbage, you know.
See no evil, hear no evil.
Yeah.
While the country descends, while we are in a total mess, there's mayhem, there's chaos in the country.
Yeah.
Look, the crime situation is another separate issue by itself that is terrible. Today, as I'm hearing again, a custom officer was shot 5 times. I pray to God that he survived.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's 5 times, but I saw the clip where he was shot. He was conscious.
Yeah, he was conscious. From what the video clips that we've seen, thank God for that he didn't succumb to it, to the attack.
Yeah.
But the point is, we and St. Lucians don't feel safe in the country anymore.
Nobody is safe. No matter what they say, nobody is safe.
Yes, there was a crime problem before, but it was not as dangerous and out of control as it is now. And you have a national security minister who happens to be Philip JPA, who sadly happens to be the prime minister, who does not have a clue of how to protect the people of St. Lucia. If you, Philip JPA, and I'm speaking to you directly, because they listen to your program, Brother Garfield, and other forums. They do listen.
Well, I heard a
Philip
man
JPA.
said all he spoke about in the house today was Facebook and people on Facebook saying, and they say it on Facebook, and Mundi would ask her in the morning what they say about him. That's all we heard today. And then Chasney, if Mr. Chasney was a subject in college, Philip Japere and Richard would have passed that test by in large scores. Believe me.
But the point I was making, Brother Garfield, if you, Philip JPA, cannot handle national security, give it up. Give up the portfolio to somebody who's competent enough to run that ministry.
Lying won't happen.
Now,
It's not going to happen.
Exactly. As it stands now, the police force is demoralized. It's in disarray.
Well, they voted. The police force voted their government in.
The entire police force is in disarray. There's no direction in the police force. You have a top cop, the police commissioner, there's so many allegations against him, sexual misconduct or sexual harassment allegations, and we say allegations. Yet still Philip JPA, Prime Minister, so-called Prime Minister, does not see the need to investigate that matter. What kind of signal are you sending out there to your wider population that you have a top cop, your commissioner of police, who have serious sexual allegations against his head, and you do not see the need to investigate, and you want to deflect and bring up issues that is not relevant or pertinent to the subject matter, which is you have your top cop who have serious allegations leveled against him, and St. Lucians in St. Lucia do not see a need to speak out. I mean, sometimes, Brother Garfield, you have to question.
People are afraid.
It,
Yeah, but people are afraid. People are afraid, honestly. And I understand. Yeah, there is actually a threat out there. When you listen to some of these people and you look at what is happening in the country, some people, you got to. I must say, we are in the diaspora, Ian, and we have protection and everything else, but we got to sympathize too with those people on the ground. Yes, we say they don't need to be afraid and they need to stand up, but some of them genuinely, they're concerned about victimization and people come in and harass them, and it is real. It's actually real when you look at it.
Brother Garfield, you and I know that you have been a victim of victimization. I have been a victim of victimization. And many persons who have the gonads and the testicular fortitude to speak out have been victims of victimization. But we must always remember that the power is in the hands of the people. We have the power. not we employ politicians. Politicians don't employ us. And there's nothing wrong with speaking out against the injustices that we see in our country. I mean, victimization, yes, but we have to speak out because it cannot continue as business as usual. When you're telling me, Brother Gaffney, that in the school, there's certain schools that the school feeding program that was set up by a last UWP administration, where young kids, who could not afford to get a meal from home, and the parents send them to school. The school will feed them through the Ministry of Education. When that is in jeopardy, because some of the cooks at some of the schools have not gotten paid. Some of them since February or March. From my information, where are we going as a country? When people go to the hospital and they cannot get basic medication, and they have to, and when the doctor gives them a prescription, and they go to the pharmacies at the hospital, they cannot get the medication, and they have to spend more money to get the medication from outside.
The struggle is real.
The trouble and the suffering is real. And this is why we must continue to speak out. And don't be scared. Don't be afraid. Because that is a strategy now to intimidate people who have the gonads and the courage to speak out. That is a strategy. So they will go after you personally because they want us to remain silent.
Listen to me. They can come after me how they want. I good for myself, but I am concerned about other individuals out there in the country. I'm concerned.
Yes, and we cannot continue to remain silent when the country is descending to something that we've never seen before. I've never seen my country like that, Brother.
At least I have a bazooka, but some of them don't have it.
There are people in St. Lucia, and you were down there for a couple of weeks, and you saw the situation back home. It's not no makeup. People are genuinely suffering, Brother Garfield. I mean, just a few weeks ago, over 5,000 people left school, young people left school. Where are the jobs for them? Where is the employment?
Well,
what is next for
the
them?
Ojo Labs, I'm not sure how they're supporting Ojo Labs, but they complain about Ojo Labs on the Alan Shasta, which provided a lot of good jobs for our young people, So they try to get every young person to open a business. And to me, that's impossible. That's impossible.
Yeah, so the situation is real, Brother Garfield, and we have to continue to speak out and speak out forcefully, and do not be intimidated by the Labour Party operatives who will want to come after us and defame us and spread lies and propaganda against us. We have to be strong.
Listen, my God is bigger than all. My God is bigger than all of them. So I personally, I don't care about me.
Amen to that. And before I leave, Brother Garfield, I just want to make a quick announcement, if you permit me.
Talk to me.
That the Friends of New York, they're having a summer barbecue. The date is August the 5th, and it starts at 12 p.m. Music will be by DJ Phil and more. And the venue for the summer barbecue is at Albans Place. And the exact address for that barbecue is 1418 Park Place, and it's between Utica and Rochester. So we're urging people to come out and support the Friends of New York with their summer barbecue. The date again is August the 5th, and it starts at 12 p.m. Very popular DJ Phil will be the DJ for the day. And the venue again for that barbecue, summer barbecue, is at Albans Place, and it's 1418 Park Place between Utica and Rochester. So we are encouraging all people in New York City, in Brooklyn, and the environment to support the worthy cause. Because at the end of the day, the proceeds will go to helping your country, helping St. Lucia, assisting with our country to be a better country, to be a better place. Right now, our country is not in a good place. So I just want to say that, Brother Garfield, and thanks for giving me the listening ear. And I want to say to St. Lucians, stand firm, keep focused, to keep doing what you're doing. But one day, liberation must come. One day, this government called the St. Lucia Labour Party that is destroying our country, their reign will be short-lived. Have a good night.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for calling, Ian. Yes, thank you. Thank you. All right. So, folks, I am not in anything to lose. We're not going to lose anything. That is guaranteed. We got to stay fired up stay active. And, we've come to the end of another program. Again, Mr. Prudent, our chairman of the United Workers' Party, will be live in studio with us. We will make that announcement, I'm sure, by the end of this week. And Gregory also was going to be on set here. And so we look forward to bigger and better. Boss Lady, I spoke about you today. It was nice meeting you on Sunday. I got my hug and everything. Boss Lady almost squeezed me up. Thank you, Boss Lady. Blessings to all, and thank you, those of you who were at the meeting. It was well turned out. As I said, everything went well, and to God be the glory. All praise to Him. And I will ask all United Workers' Party to be calm in your spirit. Stay focused. Don't turn your dots on the inside. Keep it on the outside. The enemy is not on the inside. It's on the outside. One love. Let's get to work. There's a country to be rescued. We got to get the knees off or the necks of St. Lucians from this SLP administration. Blessings to you folks. I got to rest. My body is telling me it's time to relax. I promise you I would give you an extra 20 minutes. I think I did, Cooley James. So, folks, let's see here before we go. Let's see here. Let's see what we have here. And to my mother, spiritual mother, Joycelyn Fletcher, thank you for being here with us. Our chairman, Mr. TP, thank you so much. And your beautiful wife, Sharon, thank you. And all our viewers, Cooley James. Yes, we had some new viewers. Imagine we added new viewers tonight. Thank you. Over on YouTube, we had over 100 and something. The internal numbers are showing 300 and something. YouTube, that's a lot for YouTube, friends. And for those of you who are on our channel here on Facebook, please like and follow, subscribe to the platform. We have our Buy Me a Coffee or Buy Me a Book link. Please use that link to support the program and the star system so that we can keep the program on the air. Thank you, folks. Let's stay cool, stay collected.
This is an SOS from the St. Lucia. Help! SOS! Mayday!
To my friend Rachel Smith, greetings to you.
The St. Lucia, a luxury liner, sailing the Caribbean.
As you leave, enjoy the music.
With a good old captain named
Donovan.
Sir John Compton.
Yes, greetings to you. Wilson, Chris.
For years, sail smooth and free.
Tracy,
But
good to
sadly,
see you.
Sir John Compton passed away.
Philip,
His team lost
Roger,
the election that
Alexander,
day, and the
good to
man
have
to
you.
pass over to Kenny Empty.
Jose, howdy. Joseph, Kim, greetings.
Hold me head when I say that ball. If you hear it,
Hippolyte.
the ship is sinking.
To all our new viewers, welcome to the platform. Lulu, welcome.
Almost empty, no electricity. We oil pressure really
Lord.
low. Can we abandon
Murphy
ship?
Catherine, how are you,
Or shall
Catherine?
we sail on it?
I can never forget that name.
Very slow. We don't know. Captain, you tell me what to do. We don't know.
And to those of you who are viewing this, another time, another place, thank you. Give you the dummy beer, Lincoln Pascal, my advisor. Great to see you, my brother.
Oh, she was a
Thank you. Lincoln, good guy. Yes. Our house. Yeah, man.
She sailed majestically.
Yeah, man. All the bazooka is out tonight.
There were few in her class.
Yeah, man. You all think you all bad
she
boys?
fulfilled her sailor's needs.
We have intelligent, calm people.
And so the pilfered
Who are not
slow,
impulsive, but are
causing
calm.
scandal and row-row.
You Even though the ship's sinking, we are calm.
She's at a lull. She could barely sit on a hull. Half we balling. Captain, the ship is sinking.
Cooley is announcing her menu tomorrow. What's that? Plywood, ply wings, and ply juice, ply mac. Watch her menu.
Or shall we sit on it and perish slow?
And we'll deliver a pat cake to the house.
Captain, you tell me what to do.
Pat cake.
I said no. Captain, you tell me what to do.
Good night to you, Ian. Emmanuel, good night. Boss lady, go to bed. Get to sleep.
The St. Lucia in her day of sailing.
Elizabeth, good night.
A true friend to one and all.
Yeah. For those of you who have not logged into the program tonight, but you are viewing from the outside, welcome to the platform.
No
Thank you for being here with us.
government doing bubble. And yes, well, she always did her best to help out those in distress. Now she don't have money. We have to beg Joffrey.
Oh, you have bicycle too?
Don't share. None of them care. We must vote them out, I declare. Captain, the ship is sinking. Captain,
Eva, your power is back. Those of you who are in the path of the weather, be careful. There's an advisory for persons in low-lying areas to exercise caution.
Shall we abandon ship or shall we sit on it and perish slow? We don't know. We don't know. Captain, you tell me what to do. We don't know. We don't know. You tell me what to do.
And you know what, Reverend? I like you all. You know why? You all stay with the program until the end and you all are just there. It's up. I dummy. Dummy BMS here. I dummy LA plywoods. Kush plywoods. Good night. Good night, folks.
Now there's a lot of fingers pointing. Suffering going on too long. Kenny must be blamed for all her failures. Labor must be blamed for doing us wrong. Now please remember, I'm warning you. We can't take 5 more years with this crew to hold the keys to her. Cause we know who's at fault. So it's up to you.
You know, you got to be fair. You got to be fair. It doesn't matter if it's Chasney or Philip J. Pierre. And that is why St. Lucia is in that mess it is. People are bad. There's a lot of bad people in St. Lucia. I'm telling you. I have experience in it on a daily basis. You can see how you deal with them, how they react with you. Even though I'm good and I failed. He failed. He failed. Is anyone going to tell me Philip J. Pierre did not fail with the amount of crime in St. Lucia? Who is in their right mind? What is a failing mark? 10,000 people dying? It's not irrational, pes. Zot took the bomb on Philip J. Pierre. And I like him, but you cannot be biased. It is a fact that the crime is too high in St. Lucia, and it's been the highest on the Philip J. Pierre. Now, do you like him? That's not the issue. Is he the one causing the crime? That's not the issue. The issue is the crime is there. You see
people and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attack elderly people and tell, I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attack elderly people and tell, I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attack elderly people.
Night. Look, somebody said no mother where they are in New Jersey. You know you got to be fair. You got to be fair. It doesn't matter if
and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attack elderly people and tell, I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attack elderly people and tell, I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attack elderly people and tell, I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attack elderly people and tell, I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attack elderly people and tell, I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attack elderly people and tell, I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attack elderly people and tell, I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attack elderly people and tell, I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attack elderly people and tell, I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attack elderly people and tell, I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attack elderly people and tell, I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attack elderly people and tell, I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attack elderly people and tell, I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attack elderly people and tell, I mean, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attack elderly people and tell, I mean, a big story. A big story.